my Maker portal, under the data, I have a list of connections.
I'm going to be here to check better.
The connections. And what I've done here is I'll jump back out so you can see where it started. I have a list of connections that I'm already included inside of my app. Let's go ahead and create a new connection. And then if I put in operations, I'll narrow down and I can go in and be prompted for creating a new connection to finance and operations. So then I can create an app using the entities from finance and operations where I can build a phone app or a tablet app connected to the same data that you use from the web client in finance and ops.
Okay, sounds good because this in size is going to be better. And how to call the tables or the information that you have to know inside of the Dynamics 365? How to know it? For example, at the moment that I would like to create something for purchase order,
yep.
How to go directly with that table?
So you have to have the entity exposed already. So some of the core entities or data sources tables have the entities for them. If not, you may have to create one of those and then expose it as a service so that it can be accessed. Because Power Apps goes against OData, which is what the services from AX use.
Okay.
So provided that the service has what you need, you can just use that one, or you could, through developers, create an additional entity and service for the Power App to use as a customization.
Okay. And what happens if I want to make an app, but out of the Dynamics 365? Could I with that solution?
So you can create, the Canvas app here can go against a variety of different data sources. We have about 200, but you can also create custom connectors to go against other ones that may not exist. In terms of the SharePoint, that's a really common one, people building apps on top of SharePoint. So you created a SharePoint list with your columns, and that's good for a simple, one table list of things. As you go richer, that you want to create things that have relationships, the Common Data Service is where we would recommend you go. Because it's not only a SQL Azure database with all the relational, but it adds a lot of business logic and metadata and validation on top of it. Alternatively, you go SQL Azure as your storage. So there's lots of things that you can do in terms of simple storage, or well, not simple, rich storage, in terms of the apps that you build through the Canvas app.
Okay. And how so easy is to create from the beginning an app?
It is fairly easy.
Drag and drop? Or
it is drag and drop. What I don't know what I have here.
Or maybe
if I have intercars here, I think I can build an app right now for you.
Okay.
Based on, I want to create an app. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the app from data. So start with your data. This is the fastest way, and it's a good training tool. I want to create against a cloud service. And so this will create a phone one based on this particular list here of information. So where was I at? This is my new window.
Okay.
Let's go back to here.
And you have to get it through subscription?
Yes, there is a license. Part of it is some capabilities are included, like if you're dealing with SharePoint embedded apps as part of the Office 365 seeded, but there are Plan 1 and a Plan 2 licenses that go with that provide more and more capabilities on top.
Okay,
so here's
it's going to depend on your plan.
Yep, depends on the level of the plan and the capabilities you're getting. I chose a SharePoint list from Intercars. I told it to create me an app based on that. This is a mobile form factor. It's taking the products, and you'll see that I have images, fields, navigation. If I just go off and play this app, I can go in and pick the sockets, and you can see all of this. I can go into the edit screen. So you could easily generate, this is just saying generate an app from the SharePoint list. You can also do that from other data sources. So this gives a really good starting point for building an app that allows you to do CRUD operations against a SharePoint list.
Yeah.
But same thing can be done with all the different data sources.